Hi, it's Delia. So I'm live here at the atrium between the Portrait Gallery and the American Gallery. I'll see if I can let you see. This is the courtyard. And it's got air conditioning, and a lot of people come here to do work. And you can get a Coke and sit between the two galleries of all this great art. So I wanted to jump on today to talk about expectations and projections. So a lot of the ways that we use expectations is in the 12-step world, they call them premeditated resentments. Because you're going to get disappointed, right? And when you do expectation from lack and need and want, all of which mean the same thing, need and want all mean lack, then it's almost like a dare to yourself or the universe to get the thing that you're lacking, needing, wanting. And so the source of the energy is very different from a sense of wonder and adventure and what can you create, and expecting the sun to come up in the morning and expecting that if you put one foot in front of the other, then you're going to go forward. And maybe you can see how the expectation is different there, even though the word is the same. And the other part of this is projections. So projections are often used as a coping pattern, coping technique, and people use projecting onto others their insecurities or their strengths or their expectations. And then what happens when you have all those projections out in front of you, then you can't see the person or the situation that is actually in front of you. And it's because it's the water we swim in, it might be harder to see how you do projections. It might be a little easier in the beginning to think about a time when you've been projected at and you're trying to say something, you're trying to communicate with somebody, and they're not hearing you and they're not getting what you're saying. And it's because the projections are too thick. So everybody does it, so there's no point in judging anybody for it. But you also can start to blow roses to not do that. And a big sign, a real life sign that this is happening is when, well, think about how you feel when somebody's projecting at you, right? You feel kind of irritated and put in a box, or it might not have words to it. It might just be an irritation. It might be a mental irritation or in your body. Because expectations, this projection kind of energy, is limiting, and it invalidates who you be. So I just had a conversation recently with a friend of mine, and this is somebody who has been taking photographs for a number of years, but she's also from a literally artistic family. I mean, she has siblings that are trained and professional artists. So I had unwittingly projected upon her that it was just a semantic thing or a self-confidence thing, that she couldn't call herself an artist. And then we had a conversation, and I finally stopped pushing my agenda, which I didn't realize I was doing, and just listened to what she was saying. And I actually know her family better now than I used to. And so I could actually hear, not through my projections of her and her family, but just hear her in context. And instead of trying to help her, air quote, help her, see a different perspective, I just shut up and listened. And it was very instructive, and it also, helped our relationship. Because, all we really want is to be seen and loved. Not for anything, not because of anything, not because of what we can do for somebody, or, not for a utility, but just being, right? So next time that you are having trouble communicating with somebody, just be curious about if they're projecting on you or if you're projecting on them, and just blow roses for whoever is projecting whatever. And just do barriers down, barriers down, barriers down, and choose to listen to the person without judgment, without agenda. Just, what is this person? If I wasn't busy with what I want them to know, what is this person saying? Where are they? And just be with your caring about them and listen to them. And that will transform things amazingly. So just be aware about projections and expectations. And instead of giving yourself a hard time, just barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. Release and listen. Like it means nothing about you, because it doesn't. You're listening to them because you care about them. All right, I'll see you later. Thanks for popping in. And put something in the comments, what has this sparked for you? Where have you seen yourself projecting, and where have you seen others projecting? What have you noticed about projections? And then do the barriers down, barriers down, barriers down, and see what you notice. Make a comment down below. Let me know. All right, take care.